carry item. I'll put carabiners on my bag in different positions. I might hang keys off of them. I like to hang drinks off of them, and then I can carry my bag and carry my drink. But they can also be an improvised weapon system. So the way that I can use these as an improvised weapon system is to hold them in a fashion I could use them as a striking tool. It's not their intended use. I'm not encouraging you to utilize brass knuckles in fights or anything like that. But this is like an improvised weapon system that I might already have on my bag when a person begins to attack me. And maybe you're not a gun guy, or you don't have a firearm, or you don't have a knife. You don't want to stab anybody. Something like this that you're carrying on your bag that has legitimate purposes, that you use it for other purposes, can also be something that you could introduce into this fight. Hitting with this in a sideways motion here, hitting up under the throat, up under the jaw right here, punching with this, all those are good applications, if you will. I can also apply this if someone were to get wrist control. So Robert, can I use you real quick? So Robert starts to grab a hold of me. I don't want his hands on me. I can use that to strip off as well. I would not even begin to put this into my hands unless he'd give me some clear indication he was going to attempt to hurt me. He's telling me he's going to kick my ass. He's yelling at me, screaming at me, he's cursing, using foul language. Those kind of things are going to be indicators that I might need to put some kind of force multiplier in my hands. But we're not at a high level of force, and so I want to really consider where we're at. I might think he's armed as well, and that might be another reason I do something like this. So this can also be used as we start to engage here. I'm creating an angle. This can be used to hit or punch. Thanks, Robert. One of the keys to using this and having it not be problematic for you legally in an engagement where we're just grappling or we're punching. It's a low-level fight, basically. It's not a serious engagement yet. Is I can be very selective on what areas of his body I strike with this. So Robert, I will use you for one more minute just to illustrate this. If you can face the camera. Turn and face the camera and just kind of relax like that. If I'm impacting Robert with a device, a stick, a improvised weapon system like a big carabiner, if I impact Robert anywhere on his arms, upper arm, outside of the arm, shoulder, rib cage, in here, or down around the leg here, we get into some kind of engagement here. Robert's coming up on me, and I'm smashing him to there. I'm smashing him to here. All of those are going to be almost what I would call green areas. I can hit him with an object in areas that are not likely to cause death or serious bodily harm, and I'm not going to get jammed up for that. If we're in a normal fight and he's pushing me and he's just saying we're going to fight, and I pull this out and I start bashing all his teeth out and I mount him and I hit him repeatedly with this object and he goes into a coma because he's pushing me, that's going to be something that that's going to be problematic. If in this engagement Robert begins to hurt me, I become dizzy, he's attacking me, I'm up against a wall, I was trying to move away and get away, and I feel like I'm going to lose consciousness. Now that begins to open up where I can strike with an object like this. Thanks, Robert. But I always want to be reasonable in my response to the threat. And just because someone is aggressing on you, it doesn't mean you can necessarily maim them for life. Always, avoidance is the best policy. We know we can't always do that because we can't choose. If we could choose, there wouldn't be a fight. When I'm faced in a situation where I can't get away, I can't choose another way, I might use some kind of common tool like this as a self-defense option to try to get me out of that situation. All right, guys, we're going to look at another common self-defense thing that you might have. Once again, local statutes and laws are important, and that is pepper spray. If you can carry it concealed, I'm going to leave that up to you to do your own research. A few things about it, though. This is an inner unit. In other words, it's a training unit. There is a liquid in here, but it's not got any active olein capsaicin, OC. That OC is what makes the unit hot or not. Keep in mind a couple things. I'm just going to give you a brief history of this. It's an option. It's an option if you have a girlfriend or your mom or a sister. It's also an option if you're a guy because it might give you the opportunity to work several of those things that we like to work in our fight, particularly the disengagement. Pepper spray is really a good disengagement tool. A few things to think of. If you can check for expiration date, if you have some pepper spray, you can check for that expiration date and figure out whether it's expired or not. That's important. If it is sat somewhere for a long period of time, there's nothing wrong with giving it a little shake so that it remixes. Sometimes it will separate within the canister from the propellant, from the active ingredient that actually makes it burn. Pepper spray initially was used by the post office to deal with dogs who were biting the mail carriers. The FBI started to do some studies on it. The FBI introduced it as a low lethal tool to law enforcement, and then it went out to jurisdictions throughout the U.S., and it was used heavily. We've got some other low lethal tools that are more prominent in law enforcement today. It's not as common to see pepper spray used on a custody and control incident as it used to be when I first came on the job 18 years ago. There's a few reasons for this, a few shortcomings of pepper spray. You need to understand these if you're going to use this. We're going to talk about some shortcomings, then we're going to talk about some strengths, and then you kind of make your own decision on whether or not this is a good purchase for you or one of your loved ones. It certainly has been proven that it's not likely to have any lethal effects to anybody that you spray. Now, extenuating circumstances. I spray someone and they're driving a car and they drive off, and now they can't see and they have a crash. They kill themselves or somebody else. They're in some kind of a high area and I spray them, and they let go wherever they're at and they topple to the ground from a second story or something. These are things that you need to be evaluating for unintended consequences that may occur if you do spray someone with pepper spray. It should be, in general, your hope should be kind of an intermediate force option for someone who wants to push or punch or take you down, and you're going to apply this as an intermediary means for you to execute an escape or for you to improve your position. Some of the further drawbacks of it. If I am in a room, in a business office, and somebody becomes irate and out of control, if you spray them in your house, if you spray somebody in an enclosed area, everyone's